Did you know that reclaiming your life after narcissistic abuse is possible? I know it might not feel that way right now. Maybe you're exhausted, questioning yourself, or wondering if you'll ever feel normal again. Narcissistic abuse has a way of breaking you down, making you doubt your reality, and leaving you feeling stuck. But here's the truth. You can heal. You can take back control, and you can rebuild a life that's peaceful, fulfilling, and free from the chaos. This guide is here to help you do just that, step by step. No fluff, no confusing advice, just clear, practical steps to help you reclaim your life. Are you ready for number 1? Acknowledge the abuse. It's tough. But the first thing you need to do is acknowledge that you've been in an abusive situation. As psychologist Dr. Ramani Durvasula once said, recognizing abuse is the first step to reclaiming your power. Narcissistic abuse isn't always physical. It's emotional and psychological manipulation at its core. Being stuck in this cycle can leave you feeling lost, alone, and always afraid of doing something wrong. But it's important to recognize that this dynamic, like constant control, manipulation, and emotional harm, is not normal. As psychologist Dr. Alexandra Solomon, a relationship expert, puts it, the first step to healing is knowing the problem you're facing, which is often the hardest part. Healing begins by recognizing it wasn't your fault and rebuilding confidence with self-awareness and self-compassion. Let's talk about number 2. Educate yourself about narcissism. One of the most empowering steps in reclaiming your life is learning about narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, and its tactics. Dr. Sherry Steins, a psychologist and narcissistic abuse recovery specialist, said, "Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to understanding abuse. By educating yourself, you're not only demystifying the behavior you've been subjected to, but also giving yourself the tools to protect yourself in the future." Narcissists often use manipulation, gaslighting, and emotional control to keep their victims in a constant state of confusion. Dr. Linda Martinez-Louis, a psychologist who specializes in narcissistic abuse, says, "The more you understand narcissism, the less power it has over you." Understanding these tactics allows you to see the red flags early and not fall into the same traps again. It helps you realize that it's not your fault, but rather the result of a disordered mindset that operates on control and exploitation. Recognizing the signs of narcissistic abuse brings clarity, empowering you to heal, set boundaries, and build healthier relationships. Let's move on to number 3. Allow yourself to grieve. When you're healing from narcissistic abuse, it's important to allow yourself to grieve. Even though the relationship may have been unhealthy, there's still a loss to process. You invested time, energy, and emotional effort, and that's not something you can just erase. Grief is a natural part of healing, and it's not just about losing the person, but also the future you imagined with them. As Dr. John Townsend, psychologist and author, explains, grief helps you let go of the illusion and accept the reality. Healing takes time, and it's important to allow yourself to feel the sadness, frustration, and even anger when you realize the relationship wasn't what you hoped for. Allowing yourself to grieve doesn't mean you're weak or that you're failing. It's a sign that you're reclaiming your emotional health and learning to honor your feelings. You shouldn't miss number 4. Set clear boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are gates you choose to open or close. Psychologist and author Dr. John Townsend once said, "Setting clear boundaries is one of the most powerful things you can do in reclaiming your life after narcissistic abuse. A narcissist may try to push your limits, but it's important to stay firm in your boundaries. Your boundaries are your personal space and must be respected. They may come in the form of limiting contact, setting rules, or cutting ties." Psychotherapist Terry Cole says, "You have the right to put yourself first, especially if someone makes you feel unsafe or unworthy. You have the right to leave anyone who keeps disrespecting your boundaries, even if it feels difficult or guilt-inducing. Remember, your peace is worth protecting." Are you still up for number 5? Identify and challenge cognitive distortions. After narcissistic abuse, it's common to fall into cognitive distortions. These are the negative, irrational thoughts that make you feel worthless or responsible for everything that went wrong. You might think, "I'm not good enough," or "it's all my fault." But those thoughts are a result of manipulation, not the truth. Narcissists are masters at planting seeds of self-doubt, making you question your worth and your perceptions. Dr. Marcia Sirota, psychiatrist and author, said, "Your thoughts are not facts. Challenge them to change your world. Ask yourself, is this really true? Or what's the evidence against this thought?" Reframing these distorted thoughts allows you to see yourself and your situation in a more balanced, compassionate way. Let's keep it moving to number 6. Seek therapy or counseling. Therapy is not about fixing you. It's about helping you rediscover your strength. Psychologist and author Dr. Lisa Orby Austin once said, "When recovering from narcissistic abuse, seeking therapy or counseling is one of the most important steps you can take. A trained professional can help you heal from trauma and rebuild your self-worth. Narcissistic abuse leaves emotional scars, and a therapist who understands the manipulation can help you heal." As psychologist Dr. Jennifer Sweeten points out, therapy allows you to reconnect with the person you were before the abuse. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is particularly effective because it helps you identify and challenge the distorted thinking patterns that can keep you trapped in feelings of inadequacy or self-blame. Another powerful option is EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, which helps reprocess traumatic memories and reduce their emotional charge. Therapy also provides a safe space to express your feelings and work through the confusion that narcissistic abuse can cause. It's easy to feel isolated or misunderstood, but a therapist can offer validation and help you make sense of your experiences. Here comes number 7. Join support groups. You're not alone in this journey. There's strength in numbers. Psychologist and author Dr. Wendy T. Bahari once said, "When recovering from narcissistic abuse, joining a support group can be incredibly powerful. Narcissistic abuse often leaves you feeling isolated and unsure of where to turn. But in a support group, you'll find comfort in knowing others truly understand what you're going through. Whether online or in person, these groups provide a safe space to share your story, gain valuable advice, and receive emotional support from people who have faced similar struggles. As you listen to others' experiences, you may begin to see that healing is not only possible, but that it's a journey that can be taken one step at a time. The stories shared in these groups can remind you that you're not alone in your pain, and that, with time and effort, you can move forward. The support and validation you receive from others can help you rebuild your self-worth and heal from the emotional scars of narcissistic abuse. Moving on to number 8. Practice self-care. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary for survival. Psychologist and author Dr. Cheryl Ziegler once said, "One of the most important things you can do in your healing journey is to practice self-care. After narcissistic abuse, your body and mind need time to heal, and focusing on your physical health is a good place to begin. Exercise, for example, isn't just about physical fitness. It's also a powerful tool for releasing stress and boosting your mood." As Dr. John Ratey, author of Spark, The Revolutionary New Science of Exercise and the Brain, explains, exercise is like taking a little antidepressant without the side effects. Along with staying active, make sure you're nourishing your body with healthy food and getting enough sleep. These practices help you feel more centered and strong, which is essential as you work through the emotional challenges of healing from narcissistic abuse. Emotional well-being is just as important as physical care. Engage in activities that help you relax and reconnect with yourself. Whether it's reading, taking walks, journaling, or meditating, find things that bring you peace and joy. By making self-care a priority, you're showing yourself that you matter and deserve kindness, which is essential when rebuilding your self-worth. Finally, we're down to number 9. Rediscover your identity. Who are you when no one else is defining you? When you've been through narcissistic abuse, it's easy to lose track of who you truly are. Narcissists are experts at manipulating others to make them feel small. Over time, this can cause you to forget your likes, dislikes, and values. Rediscovering your identity is a vital step in healing. It's about taking back the power to define yourself on your terms, not through the lens of someone else's control. The process of rediscovery isn't always easy, but it's necessary. It's about asking yourself, what do I love to do? What brings me peace? Over time, as you explore these questions, you'll regain a sense of your own identity and independence. Author and psychologist Dr. Marsha Linehan, who developed dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, explains that identity is not something you have, it's something you create. By consciously engaging with your true self, you can rebuild the confidence and strength that narcissistic abuse tried to take away. Remember, this process is about being patient and allowing your authentic self to emerge again, free from manipulation and false narratives. Healing from narcissistic abuse is a journey, not a race. Some days will be easier than others, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. You've already taken the most important step, deciding that you deserve better. And you do. You deserve peace, happiness, and a life where you are in control. So be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and never forget how strong you indeed are. You're not just surviving, you're reclaiming your life. And that's something to be proud of. Keep going. You've got this.